Greetings. I'm Angus Marshall. I wanted that whole quarter section of land at the end of that lovely blue lake. But Aubrey Briers, a farmhand from Ontario, just like me, was squatting on it. Just like I was. Off in one quarter, Briers built a lopsided sod hut that looked about to be tumbling over any minute. I don't know how long he'd been there, but I was keen to find a way of getting rid of him so I could build my little dream. What was my little dream? Well, before me stretches to the south a narrow, shallow lake, 5 miles long. A little stream comes in from the north and feeds the lake. The land around rolls in gentle fashion, rich for farming. I feel in my Scottish bones a town will grow on this very spot. One evening, when I was sitting under a cottonwood tree, watching the sun reflected off the lake, the shimmer of light and water sent a vision afoot over the landscape. Suddenly, around me I saw little houses, churches, hotels, and stores built along the railroad track. People scurrying about, building and doing, building and doing. I saw yet unborn Marshalls, my sons and daughters, walking on this land, growing and building here too, and sharing, always sharing. For if the good Lord teaches us anything, he teaches us that there's enough. Sitting under that old tree, I suddenly heard a sound from the future. The wet, lonesome whistle of a steam train in the distance. It would be 11 years before the track was laid through here, but I heard that train coming just as plain as day. I knew at that moment a town would arise here. That was my dream. But Briers was in the way. I needed to get rid of him. He didn't know me very well. I liked it that way. So I came up with a plan. I waited until the next starless night, dark as a dungeon. I had an old horse collar with a couple of cracked bells that sounded eerie. So I put the horse collar around my neck and went to visit Briers. When I got to his hut, the thought occurred to me to just push the precarious pile of mud over and smother him. But I didn't need to resort to murder to get what I wanted. I started to howl like a wolf, which got Briers' attention. When he came out of his hut, I introduced myself as Satan and asked if I could be of any service to him since he was squatting on Satan's land. I transformed into a horse and snorted and neighed and whinnied, pawed the ground, telling him I lost my wagon a few miles back, and would he help me fetch it? And so on. Mad gibberish. Briers didn't know how to react, so he went inside his hut. I could hear him securing his door. As I left, I shouted I'd be back every night to see if he needed anything from Satan. It rained hard that night. Next morning, when I stepped out of my little hut, I saw a different landscape. No longer did Briers' hovel stand out against the raw horizon. In its stead lay a pile of mud. I rushed over, thinking the hut had finally fallen onto Briers and smothered him. But a thorough dig among the muck revealed no Briers, or anything for that matter. I never saw hide nor hair of him again. He had vanished, gone as gone can get. I claimed that whole quarter, and the rest of the section too. That's why this town is called Marshallville, not Briersville. That's also why the war memorial in town has a monument. It looks just like Reginald, my firstborn, who was gassed at Ypres in 1915. People call the monument the Unknown Soldier.